Welcome back to IGN at Gamescom Now. Joining me to discuss Synced Off Planet is Shu from Gobo, as well as Clark from Tencent. You guys just announced Synced, so for the uninitiated who haven't been able to check out Gamescom yet, what is Synced Off Planet?
So this game is about in a world where the evolution goes wrong, and everyone have the chip on their back, but some of the people doesn't really used to this kind of technology. So it's a new type of post-apocalypse. And for the survivors, though, they want to just risk themselves and capture the opportunity to get off the planet. So overall, it's a zombie survival PvP game. And in this game, that people fighting for each other, and at the same time, they have to deal with the zombies at the same time. So that is the premise of the game.
So there are PvPvE elements going on here. How many teams, how many players, and what is the objective?
Yeah, so in every round, there will be 16 teams. Every team has 3 players, and their goal is to capture a shuttle. And once you capture the shuttle, then you will be able to get off this planet Earth. And that is the only objective. So in this game, you don't really need to kill people to win, although that could be a necessary way to do it. However, that is more tactics and team play involved in the gameplay.
Shu, can you talk to me about a very unique element of this game is the ability to essentially mind control the enemy zombies and use them against your enemies. So how does that work? How many zombies can you mind control, and how powerful are they?
Yes, I think, as it says on title, Synced, the concept of synchronization is a big part of the game, and I think that Clark might have more details, kind of on the details of the gameplay there.
Yeah. So the core thing here that we all played the zombie games before, right? And a lot of games that you just kill them all using whatever gun you have. You can still do it here. However, we need to look at those zombies as a resource at the same time. So how to leverage them to your advantage is a big thing. So there's a lot of tactical in there. So at certain circumstances that you can synchronize with that zombie. Once you do that, within the certain range, the zombies will be yours for a little while. And they're gonna fight for you, and you can even send them to a place that do the same for you.
How am I controlling them? Is that kind of like an RTS style map? Can my 2 allies control the ones that I've already synced with? Or
basically, you, the one who syncs with the core, that the player will be able to send the order, and it will be very light and simple that you just point to a place, press a button, done. All the rest, leave to the system to do.
Gotcha. How large is the map? And does it shrink? Is there kind of like a circle a la Apex Legends or PUBG?
That's a really good question. So first of all, we don't jump off airplanes. Second thing is that we don't really have a circle to shrink. And the map is about 1.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers. And in this map, we think that the pace is correct. It feels right. So 20 minutes per round, and you have a lot to do already in that inside the map. And in this case, I think that for the player, you need to work with your teammate. You need to also plan your way from your starting point, which the system gave you, and to the landing zone. On the way, you will farm a little bit. You can loot a little bit. You can deal with the zombies, and then get yourself prepared to the final showdown.
Great. Yeah. Talk to me about the in-game progression. Obviously, syncing with zombies is a big part of becoming more powerful, but I saw you can level up. Are there different weapons that I can pick up? Is there armor? What is making me and my team stronger over the course of a match?
So first of all, from the equipment point of view, we have different weapons. And every weapon also have different slots that you can put the scope, for example, or extended magazine, all those stuff. And to do that, you need to actually crafting those small components. So that is one part. And the second part is every character actually have different levels. So every time you play, you all start with level 1. But progressing in the game, you're killing people, you're killing zombies, you're looting stuff, it will grant you some experience. And once you do that, you will be able to level up. Once you do level up, you will get some perks that are unique for you. And for the perks that relate to the character, I'm going to let you to explain how the character really works here.
Yes, I think the other kind of very unique aspect of this game is, even though it is kind of battle and match-based, but one thing that we really want to do is how we can create this long-term persistent progression outside of the match. because I think that goes back into the kind of the ambition that we have in terms of narrative and world building. And there are many stories that we want to tell. It's just not going to be enough to fit within one match. So we want you to feel there is a continuation of the development of this game. So everything that you do and all the achievements or progress that you made in the game, that you can take that out from the match. And we have a unique component which is called Haven. That is like your shelter, your rest place. And this is a bit that you can kind of grow and progress. And in it, that you will have more and more options that you can take into the next match. But at the same time, you will develop your narrative and know more characters and know more backgrounds of the story as well.
Gotcha. Is that going to be a shared space, or is that going to be a single kind of shard narrative space?
I think you will see many different characters in that space, but you can have your own haven, and it is your space, and you can decide how you want to take it forward. There will be many different areas within that space, so that you can, progress your weaponry, progress your gadgets, or you can say, I want to, progress some other areas and even, visually improve how Haven looks. So, different players will take different paths forward.
Gotcha.
And I think to promote that player choice is one thing that we really, really value.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's been very interesting to me are the grenades in this game. We saw one thrown just there. There was kind of like a time warp bubble. I see there's one that jumps around to a bunch of people. Can you explain to me what the mechanics of the grenades are?
So basically, that's we call them gadgets, and those also fit into this kind of a near future sci-fi theme. So every gadget has a unique way of how it works, and those can be used in games that in certain situation. Imagine that you have a lot of zombie in front of you, using a bouncing ball. The bouncing ball will automatically find the next target. Then that is a really good way to just get out of the trouble. Or the decelerator, the one that creating the bubble. So what happens is when all the nano inside the bubble, they will be all slowed down. So that gives you more chance to escape or just pinpoint them and eliminate, kill them all. So that's the kind of thing that we want to empower the player, because once you start doing the combination of all the small tools, you can create some really big magic around how the game is played. Imagine the situation where you throw the bubble, the decelerator, and then you throw the bouncing ball. That's a huge amount of kill you can do in one shot.
One of my favorite things about PvE games, specifically Hunt Showdown, is the idea that you can go into this match, not be the victor, and come out with a better place than you started going in terms of your account progression. So what are the objectives in Synced, and if I don't win, can I still kind of come out and level up, so to speak?
Yes, I think that your progress in the match will be recognized, all the actions that will be contributing to your progression in Haven. And like Clark said, there are gadgets, there will be weapons, and they will provide more gameplay options. And with the progression with Haven, they will have more and more options, where you can take a few of those into the match, so that we can ensure the match balance. So even if you fail in a match, you will still kind of increase the experience points with Haven. You might still take kind of fragments that will help with your weapon or gadget research as well, to kind of progress you in the game.
Gotcha. So it's a team-based game. Teams of 3 players. Is there a down state, or if I die, can I be respawned? How does that work?
Really good question. First of all, when down state, yes, it's there, and your teammate can just revive you. And this is one layer. The second layer is, as long as in our team there's still one player alive, this player can take our chip on our back and then respawn the dead teammates. So those are all valuable. So it's very important that the team play as a whole. It's, in those type of games, there's always player, just wandering around, and then you can do that, but we're really not recommending you to doing so, because the tactic and this collaboration between the team players is the key.
They need to be synchronized.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What an excellent segue. So let's discuss enemy variety. I noticed that they're the kind of common nano zombies, but I noticed that there are some beefier ones as well. What different kinds of zombies are there? So
we have these kind of beefy ones in this demo, and we actually also in the main game we'll have like 4 to 5 different other types, and every one of them will have a unique ability. For example, this beefy one can absorb a lot of damage, and at the same time the weak point for this guy is actually on his back. So it's better to work with the team, so one guy can move to the back and then shoot him, but another one will jump around all the time. And the health for that guy is not that big, but because of the jumping nature, is actually very dangerous. this is one thing. And the second thing is, as you can see, we can man control certain enemy. And you do man control those elite guys also. And every one of them will have a specific usage also. Right? So the beefy guy, once you synchronize with him, you send him to a direction, he will observe a lot of damage. At the same time, a lot of nano zombies will attract to him. So for you, it will be, okay, you know what, I can rest a little bit. And for other elite guys, there will be other different type of effect in the gameplay.
And so I understand we have some exclusive footage of a character here. Do you want to talk about what this is?
Exactly, and we have a photogrammetry lab in the studio. And every character, all the face, all the model are done through this photogrammetry lab. So what it does is like tons of cameras surrounding a place. They will take a lot of pictures of a person, and then using those pictures to model the character. So that gave us opportunity to provide really high-res resolution face of the character. And as some of you might know, last year Next Studios worked with Epic for some Siren technology with a girl which is a digital human. We're using this kind of technology already in the game, and that gave us the best quality possible. At the same time, we're also developing something that we call it any face. So basically, we have a database of different shape of facial features, and then the system can take those features and then combine to whatever face we want. So in the game, later on, basically every character are generated by the system, looks real, looks like the real person.
Great, we're running a little bit short on time here, but I do have one last question, which is just what are you most excited about getting this game into the wild and for people to get their hands on it?
I think it's the story, really, and I think it's a very competitive game, but I think what really stands out for me, and the reason that we decided to collaborate with Next Studio, is the ambition of trying to tell a much, much bigger story in this type of field.
Great. That's fantastic. Clark, Xu, thank you so much for joining me. Synced Off Planet. Coming up next, don't go anywhere because we've got some Dragon Ball Kakarot gameplay. It's going to be very exciting. More IGN at Gamescom Now returns after this.